What's up guys, and welcome back. Today in this video we're going to be talking about my most anticipated games of 2018. So this is going to be a list of 10 games that I'm looking forward to next year. It doesn't mean I'm going to pick them all up, it doesn't mean I'm going to get them on launch. I definitely don't do that anymore. A lot of the time I do wait till they drop in price, just because I have such a huge backlog already. I tend to wait till they've dropped in price or just pick up the ones I really want. There's definitely a few on here that I will be picking up day one. So I'm going to start with number 10, Far Cry 5. So I've played all of the Far Cry games besides Primal. I do want to pick that up at some point, but I loved 3 and I loved 4, especially the villains of them. I loved Vaz in 3, and I can't remember what the guy was called, Ping, something like that, in 4 anyway, and they were really both badass villains, and I just love the open world aspects of it, and like the mountains and the jungles. You get to explore all of these locations and blow shit up, lots of animals. And I just loved how free those games were to just explore and blow shit up and do whatever you wanted. And Far Cry 5 looks like no exception here. It's set in, I think it's like a small county, and it's basically about a cult, which seems awesome. It looks a lot more violent than the last ones, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing that and seeing what aspects they've brought on from Primal and what's new. And with the backdrop of this one being about a cult, I'm hoping that the cult leader, the main villain, has a really good personality and he's just on top form, as well as with the other two villains from the past 2 games, so hopefully he lives up to it. Number 9 on the list is going to be Shadow of the Colossus. Now this was originally a PS2 game, which then got revamped up to a PS3 game, which is now going to be a fully fledged remake on the PS4, and I've actually never played the game. I always wanted to play it on the PS2, but then by that point the PS3 remaster came out, and then I bought that, and then I never played it, and now the remaster, the remake on the PS4 is coming out. I'm kind of just going to pass the PS3 version and play the PS4 version, because the game looks amazing. It basically looks like it's just like 10 bosses, is it? There's no sub enemies in the game. The whole objective of the game is to go across this huge beautiful landscape and just take down these absolutely massive titan bosses. So from the trailers it looks amazing, the graphics look amazing, and I just love the style, so I can't wait to pick up that one. Number 8 on the list is going to be Metro Exodus. Now this is the 3rd game in the Metro franchise. I love the first one, I love the second one. They're basically like a post-apocalyptic sort of horror game where you're underneath the metro stations of I believe it's in Russia or Ukraine or something, and you play as a character called Artyom, and these games have the most amazing atmosphere. You have to go out and wear a gas mask, and when the smoke and the moisture in the air gets on your mask, you have to like wipe it away, and you have to like keep refilling your air purifiers and that sort of thing. I really enjoy doing that in the game. I know it's like sounds boring, but I love being immersed in this world that's just decaying, and I think this new one looks like it's a lot more colourful and vibrant. I'm not sure where it takes place in the franchise, if it's in the past or in the future, but I'm really looking forward to playing it and just hoping my my PC can run the game. Okay, number 7 on the list is going to be Detroit Become Human. This is the latest game by Quantic Dream. If you've not heard of Quantic Dream, they're the people who brought us, I think it was Fahrenheit it was called, or Indigo Prophecy, and then Heavy Rain, which is an awesome game, and then Beyond Two Souls. I love all of those games, and they're basically narrative driven games where you can decide the story for the most part, and I just love the way they tell the stories, and the graphics are always insane. Detroit Become Human looks no different. It looks like it has even more options. It's basically you're playing as an android in the game, I think, probably quite a few different characters, but you get to decide how things work out between stopping a criminal. And one of the trailers they show like a guy holding someone ransom on a rooftop, and you have to go about it in about, there's about 20-30 different ways you can do it. You can make them put the gun down, you can make them kill themselves, you can shoot them. You can just look tons of different ways to go about it, and that's what happens in the entire game. And I just love doing things like that because you never get the same outcome in the game, and especially with the whole new being an android AI, I love that aspect of the story because I love things like Blade Runner and Westworld, so I cannot wait to play Detroit Become Human. Number 6 on the list is going to be Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball FighterZ Z. This is the latest Dragon Ball Z game. This actually comes out in just over a couple of weeks now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be picking it up at launch, but this looks like, to me anyway, one of the best Dragon Ball Z fighting games we've had in a very long time. I used to love the old ones on like the PS2 and the Xbox and the GameCube, the Budokai games, and the first few Budokai Tenkaichi games, but after that they kind of went a bit too much focused on like quick time events and just like the 3D elements, and I didn't really like that. I prefer like the 2D fight or 2.5D fighting style of the game, and this one looks just like what I've wanted basically. back to the old school, and the animation in the game just looks incredible. It looks literally just like the anime, and I love the anime. Well, I've not seen it for such a long time, but it looks a spitting image of what you'd see. I'm hoping to see that they do something interesting with the story, and yeah, I just cannot wait to see that. Number 5 on this list is going to be God of War. This is I think it's the 5th main title in the series. There is some on like the Vita and stuff as well, but I have really enjoyed the God of War games. I think 3 is probably my favourite, 2 is really good, and I still haven't actually played Ascension, so I'm going to have to make sure I play that before I play the new one, but this new one looks awesome. It looks a lot more story driven. It looks a lot like The Last of Us or something like that. It looks more focused on the characters of Kratos, and now he apparently has a son, and it looks like it's in Nordic mythology as well. The graphics look insane and the combat looks crazy, and it looks like the biggest change in the franchise, and I think that's a good thing. It looks fresh, and it looks like it's going to be more focused on being an overall better story and making Kratos a more interesting character, and yeah, I cannot wait to check out God of War. Number 4 on the list is going to be Days Gone. Now this looks like very similar to Last of Us, which I love. Last of Us is one of my favourite games. I think you play as like a biker, and it's similar premise. It's like post-apocalyptic future, and there's these things called freakers, which are basically like zombies, but they're really fast. Just think along the lines of like the 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake zombies, or World War Z. So they're super fast. For some reason, this technology can allow them to be like hundreds on the screen at the same time. Now that's what it looks like in the trailer. I'm not sure if the full game is going to be like that, but it just looks ridiculously fun. You can just sit there and mow down all these freakers, and the story looks really cool. I think it's got the guy who played Starkiller from the Star Wars Force Unleashed games as the main character in the game, and it looks very promising. Now we're down to the final 3, 2 of these of which I don't believe are actually coming out this year, but I'm staying optimistic. And number 3 is going to be Death Stranding. Now this is the newest game by Kojima. Hideo Kojima is obviously the guy who made Metal Gear Solid, and basically there was a whole shitstorm with the latest Metal Gear Solid game, and he basically got fired from the company and started up his own company. So this is going to be his first big game after the breakdown of what happened with the Phantom Pain. So Hideo Kojima is one of the best storytellers, one of the best people in the industry for video games. So I'm always going to be interested in what he brings to the table. And this one has a lot of star power. It has Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. It has Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal, and even the director Guillermo del Toro. I think he's involved with the project as well. I have no idea what this game is actually going to be like, what sort of game it is. I don't know what the story's about, because if you've seen those trailers, it just looks batshit crazy, but that's what Hideo Kojima is best at. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think I'm really going to love this game, but I have a feeling we're not going to see this game until at least 2019. Number 2 on the list, if anyone knows me personally, this isn't going to be a surprise at all, but this is going to be the Resident Evil 2 remake. I'm a huge fan of the Resident Evil games. I've been playing them since I can even remember, really. The first one, the second one. I used to love playing those when I was a kid, and my actual favourite game of all time is the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, which is now on the PC and all the other next-gen platforms, so I love replaying that one. Resident Evil 2 is a great game on the PlayStation 1, and it's been in development for a remake for the last couple of years. At least we've not heard a single piece of news on it. But it is the 20th anniversary very soon, in a couple of weeks, or less than a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping we get an announcement on that. So I'm really looking forward to see what they do with it. Hopefully it's just like the remake on the GameCube with fixed camera angles. Yeah, there's not much more else I can say about the game. I'm just really excited for it to come out. I just want to see a trailer now, so fingers crossed we get one in the next few days. Now, number 1, I put this number 1 on the list because there is probably a high chance of this coming out this year. I think they've already said it's coming out in 2018, but you never know with Rockstar, so by saying that, you know this game is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, Red Dead Redemption, the original game, was such a great game. Rockstar always nailed the open world story-based game, and this one looks incredible. Like, we've only seen one trailer from it. It's been delayed quite a few times now, but I think it's definitely going to be coming out this year, so hopefully it comes out before the end of the year. If you don't know what Red Dead Redemption is, first of all, who are you? It's basically a Western game in the same vein as Grand Theft Auto. It's an open world Western game. I love Western movies, so I'm looking forward to just going into the Wild West on a horse, robbing banks, robbing trains, all that kind of stuff. And just from looking at the trailer, the game looks absolutely incredible visually. Horizon Zero Dawn was like a stunning game, and I've played this game for so many hours this year, and I'm just thinking if Red Dead Redemption can look even better than that, then I'm just going to be blown away. I'm just going to be standing there just in awe at this landscape. So that has been my top 10 most anticipated video games of 2018. I want to know what you guys are interested in playing and what you're looking forward to. Let me know down below in the comments section. Do you agree with any of the choices that I've made in my top 10? Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys with the next video very soon.